Hi viewers, welcome back to my channel Ace Your Math. This is Neelam. In today's session, we are going to see a cool topic of mathematics, that is squares and square roots. I think you all are familiar with the word square. Today we will see what are square numbers and what are square roots. Okay, so have you ever wondered like why 4 is known as a square number? So we'll see that why we call 4 and other numbers as square numbers. Okay, can you see I have listed here 4 squares. Now you have to arrange these 4 squares in equal rows and columns. Okay, so how we can do it? So you can place them in equal rows one by one. So finally we will make 2 rows and 2 columns. So 4 squares can be arranged in 2 rows and 2 columns. So 2 and 2 both are equal. Here we have 2 rows and 2 columns. So that is why 4 is known as a square number, because 4 can be written as 2 multiplied by 2. And here we have taken an example of 2 rows and 2 columns. So equal number is being multiplied here. 2 is being multiplied by 2 only. That is why 4 is known as a square number. We'll take few more examples. Okay, see one more example. That can you arrange these 9 squares in equal rows and equal columns? So let's begin. So first arrange first 3 squares. Now take next 3 squares. Now take the last 3 squares. Now if you see, we have made here 3 equal rows and column. So it means 9 small squares can form a big square. So that is why 9 is a perfect square. Or in other words, we can say that 9 can be written as 3 multiplied by 3. 3 and 3 both are same. 3 is multiplied by itself only to form 9. So that is why 9 is a square number. Okay, see one more example. Let's say you have to arrange 15 squares in equal rows and equal columns. So just now we saw that if we multiply 3 by 3, we can arrange 9 squares in 3 rows and 3 columns. Now this time we are looking for 15. Okay, which natural number comes just after 3? It is 4. So it means if we try to arrange in 4 rows and 4 columns, then 4 rows and 4 columns will make 16 squares. We are looking for 15. Now, in between 3 and 4 natural, there is no other natural number. So it means there is no as such natural number which on multiplying by itself will give you 15. So it means 15 is not a perfect, it's not a square number. But if you add 1 to 15, it will become 16. Then 16 is a square number, but 15 is not a square number. Now let's take the example of a chessboard. If you have noticed closely, the chessboard has total 64 squares. So 64 squares are arranged in 8 rows and 8 columns. So 8 multiplied by 8 will give you 64. So if you see here, 8 is again multiplied by 8 only. Same number is being multiplied here. So that is why 64 is also a square number. So 8 multiplied by 8 can be written as 8 square, which will give you 64. So 64 is a square number because it can be written as 8 multiplied by 8. Similarly, 7 multiplied by 7 will give you 7 square. So 49 is also a square number because 7 into 7 is 49. 6 multiplied by 6 will give you 6 square. So 36 is also a square number. Similarly, 5 into 5 equals to 5 square. 25 is a square number. So there are many square numbers. The only thing is same number is being multiplied by itself will give you a square number. Now see one more question. If someone asks you like, is 30 a square number? So you know that 5 multiplied by 5 is 25. 6 multiplied by 6 is 36. So for finding a square number, you need to multiply same number by itself. But if you see 30 lies between 25 and 36, but there is no as such natural number between 5 and 6, which on multiplying by itself will give you 30. So you can say no, 30 is not a square number because it can't be written as the product of two natural numbers. Our next question, is 625 a square number? So if you see 625 is nothing but when you multiply 25 by itself, it will give you 625. So yes, 625 is a square number. Now first we'll see the definition of square numbers. All such numbers which can be written as the product of number with itself are known as square numbers. We saw a few examples like 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. All these are square numbers. So there are many square numbers, or you can say there are n numbers of square numbers. Now we'll come to our topic square roots. So till now, I think you are familiar that the inverse operation of addition is what? It is subtraction. Inverse operation of multiplication is division. So what is the inverse of square? It is square root. So now let's focus on square root. Square root is represented by a radical symbol as shown here. Now how we find the square roots? See, let's say we are finding the square root of 81. We know that 9 multiplied by 9 is 81. Okay, so what is the square root of 81? The square root of 81 is 9. Likewise, you can say that even though when we multiply minus 9 into minus 9, this will also gives us 81. But when we say square root, this will consider only positive square root. So square root of 81 is 9 only. Okay. Now see one question. What number should we multiply by itself to get 196? Or in other words, you're looking for the square root of 196. See, let's assume that you don't know that number, which will give you 196. So you can assume that number. Okay, so the question is which number on multiplication with itself will give you 196. Since I don't know this number, so I'm assuming it as S multiplied by S will give you 196. Okay, so now see this question again. So since I'm assuming S, so S multiplied by S is 196. S multiplied by S is S square is equal to 196. Now you want to find the S only, not S square. So how you find S? It is the square root of 196, and the square root of 196 is 14, because when you multiply 14 by 14, it is 196. So S is nothing but 14. Okay, now let's take one real life example that you want to arrange 25 flower plant in your garden in equal rows and column. See, when I say equal rows and equal column, let's first understand this thing. Let's say you have got few plants. Now you need to arrange in equal rows. Let's say in your garden you make 3 rows. Okay. Now as per the question, in each row you will plant 3 plants only. So that will make equal rows and equal column. So these are your columns and these are your rows. So as per the question, each row will have that many plants only. So if you are making 5 rows, then each row will have 5 plants only. So that makes equal rows and equal columns. Okay. Now let's come back to the question. See, question says you want to arrange 25 flower plants. So you know that you need to arrange them in equal rows and equal columns. See, 25, if you know it is 5 multiplied by 5, that means you can make 5 rows and 5 columns. So you will start making 5 rows, and in each row you will be planting 5 plants. So that will make equal rows and equal columns. So by this, you will be planting 25 plants. Now let's take one more real life example. The teacher told the whole class, which has 36 students, to stand in equal rows and equal columns for the school assembly. It means you have to arrange the students in the form of rows and column. So if you are making 10 rows, then each row should have 10 students only. Okay, that means equal rows and column. Okay, now let's say we don't know that which number on being multiplied by itself will give you 36. So you need to assume it. So let's say you take number of rows as n. So you will take columns also as n, because rows and columns have to be equal. Now n multiplied by n will give you 36. N square is 36. We are looking for n. It means you need to find the square root of 36. And when you find the square root of 36, it is going to be 6. It means we assume n as rows, so the students are going to make n rows there. They know that they need to arrange them equally, so they will start making rows. Now, in each row, how many students will stand? In each row, 6 students will stand. So there are 6 rows, and in each row, 6 students are going to stand. So first, they will first fill the first row, then second row, third row, fourth row, and then fifth and sixth row. So by placing them in equal rows and equal columns, the 36 students will accommodate themselves. Now see a few interesting facts that the square number is the sum of successive odd numbers. Now as I've written here, we know that 4 is a square number. See, we can write 4 as nothing but uh, We know that square is 4 is a square number. And before 4, how many odd number comes? There are two odd numbers only, 1 and 3. So what is the square root of 4? Square root of 4 is 2 because there are two odd numbers before 4 and 4 is the sum of those odd numbers. Similar way, we can try one more thing. 9 is also a perfect square. So if you see how many odd numbers comes before 9, it is 1, 3 and 5. And if you add these three, this will make 9 only. So how many odd numbers you are adding? Three odd numbers. So square root of 9 is nothing but 3. Okay, similar way, if you see 60, it is 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 will give you 60. So what is the square root of 16? Square root of 16 is 4 because you are adding 4 odd numbers, successive odd numbers. Okay, two numbers whose square and square roots are same. Can you guess those numbers? It is written only. See, if you see 1, see 1 multiplied by 1 is also 1. And when you find the square root of 1, that is also 1. Same thing is for 0. 0 multiplied by 0 is also 0. But when you find the square root of 0, that is also 0. So these are the only two numbers whose square and square roots are same. Now next thing says square of even number is even. So we know that 2 is an even number. When you multiply 2 by itself, you will get 4. So both are even. 2 is also even, 4 is also even. Take one odd number example. See, we know that 9 is odd. When you multiply 9 by 9, it will give you 81. 9 is an odd number and 81 is also an odd number. So this is applicable for all even and odd numbers, that the square of even number is going to be even and square of odd number is also going to be odd number is going to be odd. Next thing is negative numbers don't have real square roots. See, when you find the square root of minus 4, you will get the answer in some imaginary number. So that you will see in your higher standards that how to find the square root of negative numbers. You can try this puzzle to revise your square numbers. My square is a 3-digit number. The sum of the digit of my square is 13 and I'm also a square number. I'm a 2-digit number. What number am I? It means the number which you have to guess is also a square number and it's a 2-digit number. So just try this puzzle. It's very interesting. You can try one more puzzle. These are two numbers, two individual numbers. The sum of their squares is 100. The difference between the two numbers is 2. What are the numbers? So just try these two puzzles to check your squares and square numbers. Okay, today we covered only the concept of square numbers and square root. In my next video, I will be covering how to solve the square roots. There are different ways of solving square roots. I shall be covering all the different methods. And if this video helped you, please do like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.